If you want a complete workout for at home to get leaner, stronger, more athletic, but without the nagging aches and pains, check this out because I'm going to take you step by step. All right, so check this out. We have a limited amount of time. Again, like if you're busy, you're a parent, you're a busy professional, you only have so much time to get your training in. Now, this kind of Athlete for Life full body program model is what I'm going to take you through with limited equipment. I'm going to give you some kind of different exercises if you don't have, for example, I would say a rack at home for you to do your squats. We'll have some different things that we can plug in there. But nonetheless, this is going to include your dynamic warm-ups, athletic things, so explosive work, as well as a full body, strength training that kind of hits your strength and the resistance training to build lean muscle, as well as a little bit of a conditioning finisher. All right, so check this out. I'm going to go every step of the way, taking you through it, sets and reps, and you can just steal this and use it at home. All right, so check this out. With dynamic warm-ups, I like to just put a, timer on a clock on my phone because I only have, again, if I got a 60-minute training session or less, I want to get this done. I want to get warmed up, but I also don't want to waste time. So usually it'll be somewhere about 8 minutes, and I'm just going to go through a flow. So for example, right, I'm going to take you through what I would put on the timer. I'd probably go like 3 to 4 minutes and go through this combo of exercises nonstop, right? So it's a combo of drills. So imagine I'm doing a squat to stand, right? I'm going to pull myself down. And I usually like to kind of pry my hips when I'm in this bottom position, posture up, and not just like rush out of it, right? Like, so I'm here, I'm going to walk myself out, right? So I'm just combining movements, going into my Spider-Man lunge position, drop into my front hips, and then doing I call this the lizard, right? We're going to reach all the way around, come back down. Now, when I step back, I'm going to go into nice downward dog, shift hips left and right, open up calves, hamstrings, back to the other side. Again, go into my front hip, reach all the way around, and then I'm going to walk myself back. Right, so imagine that would kind of be one rep. Now I'm in my squat to stand. I'm going to come back up, and I'm repeating everything. Pull myself back down, chest tall, walk myself out, step. Right, so I'll just do kind of one more rep so you guys can see, because in essence, the timer would be going right now. All right, she forgot to do that step back. So this way, I'm constantly moving, I'm getting my heart rate up, and I'm hitting a lot of different movements that I'm going to then be doing in the workout. Right? So call that, for example, 4 to 5 minutes on the clock. That should get me pretty damn mobile. And in part 2, I'm going to call it ramp up. So this is my more movement stuff, right? Usually about 4 exercises, do a set or 2. When I say a set or 2, you might be like, well, when do I do 1 set or 2 sets, Luka? And I'm like, if you're feeling like pretty damn warmed up, just do 1. If you feel like you need a little more juice, do 2. So it might be something like this. We're going to go slalom hops side to side, right? Everything's about 15 seconds. Start slower and ramp it up, right? So imagine I start a little bit slower. When I ramp it up, let's start going faster. All right, ramp it up some more, go a little faster. So we've hit that for 15 seconds. Second one, wide out drops, all right? Feet close together. Imagine like you're dropping into a clean. All right, same thing. Start a little bit slower. Imagine ramping it up. I'm going to go a little bit faster. Same thing, 15 seconds. From there, because we want to have a little bit of a kind of say different movement patterns, different directions. Think skater jump, jumping over a hole. And again, you can just start a little bit smaller hole and progress it to a little bit of a bigger hole, right? If you need to regress that movement, you can just tap the ground as you're doing it. And then we're going to do high knees, which is going to be one of the exercises, our explosive exercise, fast exercise in the program, right? So high knees, same thing. I say start lower and slower. Couple seconds, ramp it up, faster, higher, and speeding it up, right? And even just showing you guys that, I'm like, right? Heart rate's going up. But let's say you feel like you need a little juice. Cool, go through it one more time, right? And we're moving pretty fast to those exercises. So if I had the timer right now between 4 to 5 minutes on that combo going nonstop and doing my ramp ups, I'm pretty damn warmed up. Again, plus minus, again, how much time you got. You feel like you need a little more, extend it to 10, right? If you're good at 6 or 7, for example, I'm in a garage in the summer, 6, 7 minutes, I'm sweating bullets, right? And it might be enough, okay? So that's our dynamic warm up. We're gonna go to our explosive, and then we're gonna go to our full body strength. All right, so there's a lot of different ways you can do explosive stuff. What we're gonna do today is banded, I would say high knees. Now look, if you don't have the double loop band, no problem. You can just go without the band. I just find a band very helpful to kind of keep you upright and give you some external cues. So all we're gonna do is 8 to 10 seconds, but think maximum intensity. Sure, absolutely. You know, to me, this is a good kind of regression in a sense, if you can't do sprints yet. And I'm not a fan of people just going, you know, haven't done any sprinting and all of a sudden doing sprinting, right? But you can do high knees and you can do them fast. What we're teaching bodies to do things very, very quickly, right? And so we're only going to go 8 to 10 seconds and then have a full 50, maybe even 60-second break, right? This is a great way also to kind of keep it on the minute every minute, right? For time's sake. So we have a long enough break, 8 to 10 seconds all out. And for example, you'd probably do somewhere around 5 to 6 rounds of this, right? Would also, you know, kind of progress that warm up as well. You'll be feeling perfectly fine after we did those ramp ups. But now imagine that, like, I'm looking at the timer. I'm already going to start getting, now here's the thing. I'm not running away from the band. I'm getting a little bit of resistance here, and then I'm going to punch straight down, right? Fast as I can, I'm punching straight down. But I'm going to do a countdown in my head or look at a timer. And then when it's 0, then I'm going all out, right? So it'd be like this. I'm going, all right, 3, 2, 1. Maybe that was 8 seconds. Maybe it was not. I wasn't looking at it. But the kicker is, whew, we're still training fast twitch muscle fibers, right? And getting those benefits out of that. Just doing 5 to 6 minutes. Again, I look at the timer. Let's say it was 8 seconds. I'm resting. 50. Again, this is, you're not trying to do conditioning here. So I do want to recover, right? I want my heart rate to come down. I want to be almost close to fully rested before I go again. Because I don't want the speed of this to come down, right? That's key, right? Keep it extremely fast. Rest. Ideally like a 1 to 6, but as long as you need, basically you get rested and be able to do it again as fast as possible. All right, so now we're gonna go to our main strength exercise. Now, because this is an Athlete for Life program, we are gonna contrast that with a jump as well. Okay, now if, again, depending on the person, you know, I may already superset the front squat with for example, a pull-up, right? But in this program, we're gonna still get some jumps in because I think it's so important to have that explosiveness, that power. Again, it's one of the things we lose with age the fastest. So we just want to develop that. For the purposes of obviously this video, I'm going to face you guys, use a squat wedge. These are awesome. If you have good ankle mobility, but still, this just keeps me a little bit more upright. Now, if you do not have, because we're going to go sets of 6 here, right? And again, I'm not going to go crazy heavy, but just to show you guys, like you can go with a heavy goblet squat. So imagine having a dumbbell. And instead of doing 6 reps, you go 8 to 10 with a 3-second eccentric, right? Because we want to stimulate that lower body. We want to make it challenging and heavy. You know, we could even, there's a lot of variations. You could even go to single leg squat to box here, right? Where it's like loaded heavy and just going 6 per side, right? But again, in this scenario, we're just going to go front squat because if you have it, this is excellent drill. We'll talk a little bit about what we can do as, you know, on day 2, if this is day 1. So again, I'm going to walk forward. I want to be as upright as possible on this. Elbows up. I think head to the ceiling. You can see the difference just from here to getting tall, keeping elbows up. I'm going to pull myself down, butt straight down, drive the ground away. And what you do, right, so let's get 6 on this and pretend that this was my working set. We'll talk a little bit about how to get there. Right, so I would probably take about 3 faster sets, meaning the bar with a little bit of weight, and ramp it up to your challenging 6. And so we'd go week 1, probably 3 sets of 6. And then we'd work up to 4 sets of 6, week 2 and 3. And then week 4, we'd probably bring it back to 3 and again, deload it a little bit, right? So if I did my heavy set of 6 right now, I've done like 3 warm-up sets to get there. Now I'm going to contrast it. Spend about 20 seconds just resting, bring my heart rate down. Then I'm going to get 6 maximum squat jumps, right? As high as I possibly can. Again, don't just go through motions, all out. So maximal effort on that. Then we'd rest, right? We'd have a full recovery. What is full recovery? Probably for most people is going to be in that 2-minute range, 2+. Again, depending on if you're crunching on time, maybe you can bring it down a little bit. But again, the goal here is to be as strong as possible. And with the 6 reps, you should maybe have, 1 rep in the tank. So the weight that you're using is very challenging. Rep 5 and 6 start slowing down because it's challenging, but maybe you could get 1 more. That's kind of like your thought process on this one. All right, check this out. So this next one is a strength superset, and it is where usually I wouldn't program this, but I tend to say like, hey, if a grip becomes a problem, you're just going to use straps on the lunges. Okay. But in most cases, again, you should be fine here because you're taking a break in between. But I'm going to go 8 walking lunges from 1 step straight into the next. Okay, important. So I'm sure you just with body weight, right? Instead of stepping, boom, and then stepping, we're going to go straight from 1 step to the next step, right? Having to decelerate it. I kind of like a little bit of an athletic lean, so I'm not completely upright here. So I'll go like 3, 4 steps down, 3, 4 steps back, just so you guys can see this, right? So I'm stepping straight to the next step, straight to the next step, right? So again, if you got a shorter space, you're just kind of moving around like I am right here. And if you have to turn it around, right, you turn it around, and I'd hit my 8 and 8, right? Again, this is an important factor here is like, people will always say, how heavy should it be? How challenging should it be? Well, if you're kind of just starting off with weight training, like load it, have it be challenging. Don't worry too much about it being as hard as possible, because you're going to have adaptations just because you're starting strength training. But look, for most people, you should be within, I would say, it's called 0 to like 3 RIR, right? Which means reps in reserve. 0 means like you couldn't do another rep. You want to get close to that, right? So it should be challenging enough to where you get close to, failure, right? And I would say for most people that have some experience in training, you would probably want to have, again, get at least 1 set that's, 0 RIR, and you couldn't do another rep. That's usually my recommendation to see the best progress. From there, we're going to have a break. 30 seconds, 45 seconds. Again, if your grip feels a little toasted, a little bit longer. If you don't have a pull-up bar, or if that's too challenging, you can go band assisted, right? Put the band, loop it around. That's one variation. You can do pike pull-ups, right? Where the barbell's here, kind of support yourself. But in this scenario, we're going to go with a neutral grip pull-up. It's a little bit more shoulder friendly. And full range of motion, stretch. So it'd be 8 reps. Again, if you can do a lot more than 8 reps, add some load. Weight vest, put a dumbbell in between your feet, right? Again, 0 to 3 RIR, probably getting closer to that 0, right? Close to failure, right? That would be the best way to go, but go full range of motion. Okay, so that would be our kind of our first strength superset after our main exercise. All right, so this is gonna be our second superset, dumbbell RDLs. Today's, with it workout day, a sample workout day for at home was a squat, right? So we had a main kind of strength exercise for the squat. The lunges, walking lunges, actually get a lot of everything, right? You're definitely hitting quads, but with that little bit of athletic lean, stepping to the next step, you're also getting glutes a lot, right? And now we're gonna go a hinge pattern with our RDLs. So we're gonna shoot for 12 here and keeping that eccentric, that down part, like 3 seconds, right? A little bit more control. Again, usually, by the way, adjustable. In my garage gym, I have adjustable dumbbells that go up to 100. So you can do a lot of stuff with that, right? But in this scenario, let's go with just the tempo. Remember, on the RDLs, we're gonna go soft knees first, butt back, reach back at a big stretch, about mid-shin. So 3, 2, 1. Push the ground. 3, 2, 1. All right, so this is kind of your pace. Trying to get as much stretch. So back, back, back. Push your hips back to the wall. Let's pretend that this is 12. All right, so again, if you go heavy enough, if your grip is weak, this is where I'm a big fan of getting, people sometimes say, oh, having straps is cheating. That's bullshit. Straps is allow you to get more out of the muscles that you want. So in this scenario, if my grip's starting to go, well, my hamstring can still do the work, I'm going to want to strap this up, right? Again, our superset, 30, 45 seconds. And then in this scenario, we're going to go weighted push-ups. So you're doing a push-up. If 12 is difficult for you with regular variation, you don't need to do any weight. If you can't do those yet, you can elevate the barbell up and do them elevated. You can do them on your knees. But the key is going to be like quality, reps, control. But if you can do 20 push-ups, 20 plus push-ups, right? We're going to go and weight this up. Again, how much weight you use, completely up to you. I actually really like chains. I also have chains here at the gym and at home, but putting a plate on is not too crazy difficult. All right, we're going to spread our fingers, feel every knuckle on the floor. And again, watch my tempo, right? So full range of motion, reaching with the chest, nice and tall. So about 2 to 3 seconds on the down. Again, let's pretend that that's 12, but we want to use a weight. We want to use a challenge to where at the end, we're, squeezing that last one out. And again, if you hit 12 and you're like, oh, I got 2 more left, go for it, especially for an exercise like this, right? And like I said, the first strength exercise, we'd start with 3 sets of 6, get the 4 sets of 6. These, we'd both go 3 of 8, 3 of 8. This would be 3 of 12, 3 of 12 or more. And every week we're just trying to improve a little bit, which means what? Add a rep or add a little bit of load, right? It can be that simple, okay? So again, I got a little kind of rep set methodology where, for example, lunges and pull-ups. It's called 8, 12, 8. You keep going. So 8, 9, 10, 11. Once you get to 12 reps, you go back to 8 and then just add a little bit of weight, right? So that's our second superset. And we're going to finish off with a little bit of conditioning. All right, last but not least, we're going to do some athletic conditioning. I'm going to give you 2 choices here. One, again, this is great time-wise, right? Because when we talk about training, and the reason why I wanted to show the sample workout is like that you can get it done in an hour, right? What if we started with an 8-minute dynamic warm-up, went to our explosive stuff, did a contrast of strength and power, 2 strength supersets, and then finish off with conditioning. And again, also kind of giving you some time is there, what you want to stick to. So at the end, let's say week 1, we're going to go with 6 minutes on the minute, every minute, 12 to 15 swings. Why 12 to 15? If your fitness level is a little better, you can do 15 swings on every minute. If not, you can go 12, maybe even as low as 10 on this. All right, so we're going to go 6 rounds. I'm going to finish my swings, wait till the top of the minute, and then go again. And every week here, we just add either 1 or 2 rounds. Again, usually I just go when most people add a round, right? So week 2, 7 rounds, week 2, 8 rounds, week 3, 9 rounds, week 4, 10 rounds, right? But I'm going to have max power on this, right? We're going to go 15. So however long that took, let's say it took about 20 seconds. If you want to, you can do active recovery. Active recovery is just moving around, right? I'm balancing almost like I'm doing jump rope before the top of the next minute. Now, if it's more challenging for you, you can just walk around, bring the heart rate down. Minute 2 comes up, boom, we go and hit our 15, right? We do ornament every minute. Now, the other option you can do here is if you have a certain amount of time left, for example, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, 6 minutes, you can go and do as many reps as possible in that time frame. That doesn't mean one big set. It means you might get 20 reps, put it down, rest. Get 15, rest, get 12, get 10, right? And just in that time frame, quality reps, write your number, right? So maybe let's say in 5 minutes, you end up getting 82 reps. Okay, next week, same time frame, beat your number, right? Week by week, just try to beat your number and get more work in that same amount of time. All right, and this way, again, we got a lot of work in and a lot of the right work in, but it's been kind of compressed in a smart way to get you that 60-minute training session, because I believe even if you can get 2 of those per week, that's powerful, right? And I'll give you a sample day 2. If we had a squat on day 1 as our main kind of strength exercise, we'd have a hinge on day 2, either an RDL, like a heavy RDL, just like we did the dumbbells, but we'd go heavier for 6s, or a trap bar deadlift. And then we'd do something like a single leg, more hingy movement, which might be a sprinter lunge, right? So sprinter lunge, right? And then we superset that sprinter lunge with overhead press, push press. And then we do a goblet squat that's heavier, right? And we do that for higher reps, like 12, and superset it with a 1-arm dumbbell row, right? And a finisher could be snatches. It could be some like lateral slides, meaning like for time, 20 seconds on, 40 seconds off. And again, we're hitting power, we're hitting strength, we're building muscle, and we're doing athletic conditioning as well, all in 60 minutes or less, right? So if you love this, by the way, check out this other video that kind of breaks down the Athlete for Life template so you can plug in your exercises and really have a framework for this. And if you like content like this to be more athletic, leaner, stronger, and do it without nagging aches and pains, make sure you subscribe to this channel.